It's been pretty calm, man. I actually just got back. I was in Utah last week visiting the national parks out there, and so it's a good way for me to kind of, bring some closure to the decision that I was making. So it's been relatively calm. I changed my phone number recently and got like a dumb phone, and so not a lot of people have my number. So the messages I've been receiving have all been supportive and loving and whatnot. So I just appreciate everybody allowing me the space to really come to this decision.
How hard was this decision? I know we've heard everything that you've said and the injury and the health but football gave you this platform, so I'm sure you're very very thankful for that. How tough was it a decision? Because you are football. Football was you. Football made Darren Waller.
Yeah, I mean, football was a big part of me, something that I loved since I was a kid. But there's also like this element that I continued to do it because I knew it was a tool of for people to accept me as well. And so over time, you get to this point where you got to evaluate, all right, how much am I doing this for to continue to be seen as whatever I want people to see me as, or because I truly want to do this and want to be a part of every part of the process. And I reached a point where it's like, I don't have that 100% to give to the process. And I don't think that's fair to teammates or to fans or organizations that are expecting me to give that. So that's why I came to the decision I made.
Do you expect it all? In all sports, people retire, unretire. Do you expect, when you see your guys out there, having the itch at all, or do you have enough going on between the music and the podcast and the YouTube channel, everything that you're doing to fill that void?
No, I mean, I will still watch football. It won't be a thing where I gotta kind of like avoid it. I still love watching the game and watching it with my friends, and it'll always bring joy to me to watch. But as far as like just going out there and playing, it's like the idea of it or the results of it may sound good, but like actually going out there and doing it and grinding through it is something that I'm like I've given enough to it, and I feel like my passions are elsewhere now.
The music, the last video obviously took off, and I know there's a new one coming out about the retirement. The feedback first. Let's start with who knew her perspective. Were you surprised how positive that feedback was? Because we were getting a lot about that, and it seems like everybody, athletes, musicians, rappers, everything, they were into it.
Wow, yeah, I honestly haven't even seen much. Like I said, I have this light phone, so I have somebody else that runs like social media and all that. But there's been a lot of people that have come up to me and said stuff about it, and it's just a real honest record. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an idea that came to me when back in like early February, and I was like, I feel like the same patterns keep happening in my relationship. So I had this idea of if the opposite end, like the woman that I've been with, because it's been so many, like what would they write to me if they had to pen, like if they had a song? So that's where that came from. And I like just being authentic. I try to be as real as possible, and that's the same thing with my new song that'll be coming out as well.
And tell everybody about the new song, which I guess takes us deeper into the decision to retire.
Yeah, so it's called it's a two-part song. It's called "Choose Wisely" slash "Farewell." And in the first part, it's a song where I'm talking about how everything that's come with my success, like the fame and the attention and the pressure, it's like me being open and honest and how I felt about that and how I've tried to cope with dealing with that, because there's good things that come with it, but it's also like, sometimes I'd like to just blend in. Sometimes I'd like to just, be who I am, and not everywhere I go there be this level of pressure on me. But then the second half of it is a more like triumphant sounding, like happy, like reflection on my career and how good it's been. And then there's like kind of like a mic drop at the end. And so it's got both of those ends of the spectrum.
Is the music what the focus is going to be on now, at least in the short term?
Yeah, man, I definitely want to pour a lot into my creativity. I feel like as I've grown like spiritually, I feel like there's this tug on me into music, just with who my great grandfather was and things like that. It's like it's almost to the point where it's like I don't even really feel like I have a choice. Like I'm being led in that way, and it's something that I want to do. I want to do things that I want to do, and I'm gonna invest time in that. But I'm also going to continue to be what I've done for addiction and mental health, that kind of advocacy. And I want to see the world. I want to travel. I want to, be more involved in my family's lives, be a better friend, be a better sponsor, like, just be more present in the lives of people, because I don't feel like I really have been while chasing football.
Is there in the music side of things, is there a dream scenario, somebody you'd want to work with, somebody you'd want to collab with? Who would be your dream? What would be your dream scenario if you could work with anyone?
There's so many amazing artists out there, man. And I love every genre of music. So it's like, I mean, I can't even really pick one. There's so many. Like, I feel like for me, like I'm so versatile in my style and the songs I make. People will never really know what I'm gonna put out. So from hip hop to rap to, I'm a big Coldplay fan. I love, Drake, Kendrick. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the genre. Like, whoever I could form a bond with and just get in the room and have a vibe with, I'd be honored to create with.
And then on the athletic side, I'm sure you're not going to stop working out and not staying in shape. But we see guys, we see Devin Funchess just became the first NFL player to sign a pro basketball deal. We see guys fighting. We see guys in MMA. Anything else? Is there anything else we could see Darren Waller do now that the football side of things is over?
Nothing on that type of scale. I think that's really cool that people do that and just chase their passions like that. But I'm still working out. I did some got after it this morning in the gym, and I'll go lift here in a couple hours. Like I'm still like I'm still playing almost, but it's for my mental health. But I don't think anything on that level. It'll just be just kind of training to keep my mind right, keep my body right.
You basically said you've changed your number, so it's hard for people to get a hold of you. But what would you say to the fans, the teammates, anybody, people who like you, people who hate you? Just floor is yours. What would you say to everybody as you start the next chapter in your career?
Oh man, I'll say thank you to everybody. I didn't think it would get even as close as far as we did in my career. Like there was a point I didn't think I would play football in college, and then when I was in college, I was like, I didn't think I'd make it to the NFL, and then here we are, like 9 years later, a Pro Bowl later, being one of the best people at my position, being a leader and a captain on my team after being like, somebody that was only known for getting in trouble. Like there's a lot of people there that were to support me along the way from every team I was on, every step of the way. Fans, people with the teams, media people like that I've gotten to interact with. There's so many different people that are part of the game and the everyday experience of being in the NFL. I just want to say thank you to the people who love me or hate me. Like I don't think people would be paying attention to me or saying anything hateful if I was nobody or if I did nothing. So at the end of the day, that just proves that I did everything that I could and worked as hard as I could to be a great teammate, be somebody that teams could rely on, and I can rest well with that going forward.
Do you look back, and I don't want to like look at dark times, but football helped you get out of a really, really dark place. And if it wasn't for the Ravens and the Raiders, where you would be here now, or even if you'd be here, do you ever even let your mind look back at those dark times, or are you past that?
No, absolutely. I feel like I have to keep a fresh perspective of those dark times in my mind at all times. Ultimately, God gave me a sense of purpose in football with me coming back, because it gave me a sense of accountability. Like once I started to, get an opportunity and hone my skills and make a name for myself, it honestly provided a space of accountability to where, I'm somebody that is a voice for this struggle in public. I got to maintain that. I got to do this stuff every day. I got to keep working. I got to be locked in. So, yeah, I mean, I'm eternally grateful for football. Like that opportunity showed me that that anything is possible, and I can go from being whatever I was, nobody checking for me in this avenue, to being one of the best or somebody that performed well. Like I can take that into anything else I want to do, even when I'm, unsure of what the results may be. Like, football has taught me so much and has given me so much. Has allowed me to change my family's lives, change the lives of people in different communities. Yeah, I could go on all day.
This is my last question. With football out of the picture and more time, you're saying about love and trying to find love. Is the goal to try to find love again?
Absolutely. And it's redefining what my definition of love is, because I feel like before it was going into relationships, I feel like I had to, be kind of codependent and tap dance to please the partner. Or I had to self-sabotage the relationship before the other person did because of things that happened to me when I was younger. And I had those same reactions. So my whole definition of love has changed, and that's a lot of the work that I'm doing right now. And hopefully I can show up as a healthy, honest, and partner that's able to be intimate and to you know, walk through the tough times. I definitely want that in my life, and God will show me when that's supposed to be. But as of right now, just trying to focus on being the best version of me and doing what I want to do, and feeling fulfilled, and all that will take care of itself.